2018 BMW M5 review. Lisbon, Portugal, from a support of inline sixes, to normally suctioned V8s and V10s, and the distance to the present twin turbocharged monsters, the BMW M5 has constantly shared one characterizing trademark: race-wheel drive. That is not true anymore, and perfectionists are raising their foreheads. All things considered, huge power in addition to race drive parallels smoky tail-out jokes of the primary degree. To those eyebrow bowmen, we have uplifting news. BMW knows the M5 must remain an emulator of tires, and it has the equipment bits and programming bytes to ensure all-wheel drive isn't the capital punishment for no particular reason. BMW's MX Drive framework permits the greater part of the M5's 600 drive and 553 pound-feet of torque to pull enough footing to quicken from 0-60 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds, and to 124 miles per hour in 11.1 seconds. That makes the most recent M5 the fastest yet. Four-wheel drive footing has its focal points. What's more, if your call to war is demised to all elastic, you can simply switch the M5 into race-wheel drive mode utilizing the fitting catches from inside the lodge. Once more, idealists may take a gander at the buffet of catches, dials, and screens inside the 2018 M5 and think about how we arrived, particularly contrasted with something as clear as the benchmark E39. The appropriate response is the steady quest for execution. It's anything but difficult to stick 600 or more horses in a car, and the outcome will be a loathsome uproar. The critical step is influencing them to connect and do what you need. Enter the brilliant red M1 and M2 catches on the guiding wheel that enable the driver to tweak two favored driving modes. The motor can be set to efficient, sport, and sport. In addition to, the suspension and guiding have comfort, sport, and sport plus modes, likewise available by means of a progression of catches on the middle reassure. There's another rendition of BMW's workday stock that befuddled us at to begin with left-right detents for drive and turn around. However, as much as we prefer to gripe about the pointless rehash of the shifter, proprietors will unquestionably get accustomed to it rapidly. Stopped next to each other, the new M5 looks taller and more refined than the old. A carbon fiber rooftop expels weight right where you don't need it, and, joined with another lighter weight debilitate framework, makes the new M5 less corpulent than its antecedent. The well-known kidney grills are substantial, similar to the three lower air admissions. Squared off and scrunched down renditions of BMW's long-running Radiance headlights keep things looking crisp, and the four wrinkles in the aluminum hood include animosity and indicate the power created inside. That power plant has a recently created match of turbochargers, new injectors for expanded fuel weight, and a charge air cooling framework that join to enable most extreme torque to spread from only 1,800 revolutions per minute the distance to 5,600 revolutions per minute. There's all that anyone could need energy to overcome the 2018 megawatts 4,100 or more pound control weight. The transmission shoots speedy moves all over, and is reluctant to surrender the best possible apparatus when driving quick. A double grasp box may hack away 1/100th of a moment anywhere, yet the traditional torque converter feels smooth and refined. We discovered little use for the controlling wheel-mounted doors. Unfortunately, however, not out of the blue, there's almost no feeling in the controlling. The controlling proportion is bounty brisk, on-focus feel is great, and the auto responds in a split second to directional changes. Be that as it may, there's extremely no feeling of association with the street surface, and you feel the loss of footing in your butt before your hands. That is the main bad mark worth specifying in the driving progression segment. We discovered comfort suspension, sport guiding, and sport motor modes to our preferring in the city, so that was customized into M1. When we hit the track, M2 mode raised 4WD Sport from the M Dynamic mode selector, which permits critical levels of backside slip before the security and footing control frameworks advance in to keep you on the straight and thin, and put everything else in max sport modes. The triple peak right turn, that is the Parabolica Ayrton Senna at Circuito do Estoro, was 4WD Sport, an ideal showing of the new M5's shocking capacity to carry on like the world's most sensible hypo race-wheel drive vehicle. Indeed, even a ham-hoofed rider can hang the back out with exemption. Ask us how we know, without undue dread of overcooking the slide and pirouetting through the grass. Hitting 150-ish on the long straightaway before pummeling on the brakes for a chill-off lap gave us an opportunity to consider how stunningly fit the huge Cantina is on a racetrack. Maneuvering once again into the pits after 6 hot laps, the steel brakes, carbon clay plates are discretionary and prescribed in case you're wanting to track your M5, were smoking, the Pirelli P0s were softening, and the turbocharged motor was sloughing off warmth as composed. So, everything was appropriate with the whirl. However, prepare for a huge tire charge on the off chance that you jump at the chance to toss down hot laps from time to time. A 600 pull, 2-ton behemoth can in fact twist the law of material science, yet just so some time before something, to be specific the tires, give way. Out and about, the 2018 BMW M5 acts like an appropriate extravagance vehicle as it sneaks past activity and roars past slower autos on the expressway. Solace modes continue everything, agreeable, warmed and cooled seats swaddle rear ends, and the fundamental decency of the 5 Series body radiates through. The iDrive 6 programming functions admirably, however still through an excessive number of menus and submenus. On the off chance that every one of that sounds excessively tranquil for you, there's a fasten to open the fuse for more thunder. At $103,595 the 2018 M5 is expensive. That is $8,500 more costly than the past M5, however we think the 2018 variant is justified regardless of its powerful cost. Unless you have exceedingly concentrated requirements, the 2018 M5 is presumably all the auto you could need. There's a lot of room, a plenty of energy, tons of tech, and, obviously, the correct identification on the grille. The 2018 Mercedes-AMG E63S is also evaluated, speedy, and effective, yet is heavier and isn't as tuned for the track as the Beamer. Different contenders, similar to the Audi RS7, Cadillac CT-SV, and Porsche Panamera are deserving of correlation, however none, for different reasons, adjust impeccably with the most recent M5. Glancing back at past ages of the M5, it's anything but difficult to perceive any reason why the E39 is hailed as a famous car for individuals who love to drive. A major normally suctioned V8, a 6-speed manual transmission, a very much adjusted undercarriage, and back-wheel drive is stuff auto fellow dreams are made of. The E60 moved the needle significantly, encouraged with a screeching high rev V10 and a large group of mechanical advances. And afterward came the F10, which specifically continued this new 2018 M5 and carried with it the introduction of turbocharging and the passing of grip pedals. Without fail, perfectionists moaned, yet wallets opened, with each progressive M5 gloating more prominent execution and deal figures to coordinate. What's more, in any event for years to come, the BMW M5 will remain the benchmark by which other execution vehicles are judged. It's not immaculate, there's no manual transmission, no double grip either, and we need to think about how much lighter it'd be without a front differential and drive shafts, and it may not be the purest of its breed. Be that as it may, it's unquestionably the speediest. Time walks on, and with it moves the quintessential game vehicle.